In this video, I'd like to go over the process in which a graphic designer would go through in order to go and finish a design or work through a design problem. I have a number of examples from students and some sketches, and so you'll see some real-world types of designs. And in the next video, I'd also like to show you how to approach some of the process by doing thumbnail sketches. And I'll show you some of those types of things here. I want you to envision something finished, and what would we use our little icons on? And I would also like to show you a few examples out there. You guys have looked at some of your favorite app icons, the icons themselves, not how the app works, the icons. Okay, so a couple of them here. This one is for the Apple Finder, the operating system, their fun little icon here. It's a very simple box, a face, and a few lines just to represent a happy face and the operating system little Finder guy. Google is a good icon that people feel that is friendly, it's colorful, it's straightforward, everybody recognizes it as Google Chrome. Another one easy to recognize, it's contained in a little circular shape, and it's just based on shapes, and then they made some colorization, make it look and appear as if it's got a shiny surface by having an additional color here. Okay, no, that's not a halo, it's a highlight. Okay, another one, this one's much more complex in nature, but yet it is something that they have devoted their icon, the details, to be centered around and within a particular shape, this circular shape. So everything is in a motion in that circular pattern and holding on to something. So this one's much more detailed, but yet in its simplicity, there's just the two items, and it conveys a concept. Okay, let me just give you something to envision here. What would we use some of these icons for? Well, we might make a web app at some point. We might use it as a symbol. We might use it in our marketing or advertising. And it's an exercise to just get you going in the creative direction. This student used an icon, this little bear scratch or scrape, and they added it to some banner artwork. They also added it to an additional banner artwork and repeated it. Repetition is good in design. It's one of those design principles we like to be able to utilize. Another design principle would be color, repetition of color, and things like that. Anyways, they've added it to this banner. So how did they end up with something that they could use in a number of places? Well, before they started, they may have done some thumbnail sketches and some ideas. And so let's go and take a look at some sketches. I don't have the sketches exactly from that particular piece, but several students' work just taking a piece of paper and dividing it up into, say, well, I'd like to do 4 icons across and 4 down just to get some ideas on paper. Instead of randomly putting 1 or 2 sketches on a page, you might even take some grid paper, something like that, to start with, and divide up your page a little bit. Now this one visually they've divided it only because they've done a few rows here. And thumbnail sketches don't have to be very large at all. And what we're looking for is just the concept or idea of it. We're looking to do some shapes, some things with some shapes, maybe something with a letter or several letters, things of that nature. Okay, so in this case, then they've gone through and worked out a few more with some details. Here's another one where they've taken a concept and they're trying it out in several different ways and then trying out a little banner maybe for a website. Okay, another one, they're trying some shapes that the concept was the fruit and vegetable market, a few other things as well, but some of these leaf icons. The leaf concept, it's larger, it's smaller and attached to some letters. One is attached to a letter. One is all by itself on a vine. The fruit with a vine and a leaf. Then the fruit all by itself. Farmer's Market, the FM, they're working it out a few different ways. So variations, you need to not just do one idea, but many ideas, and then take a concept with one of them and work it out even further. I believe the student that worked on this one, they were looking at the design of a mango and the shape of a mango. So hold that thought. And then another student worked out where they wanted to keep within a particular shape, the square shape or rounded end or rounded corner shape. And sunshine, of course, we always want to get our initial idea out on paper. Be aware that the very first thing you think of may or may not be your best idea. And for me, 9 times out of 10, it is not my best idea. It is in the way of my best ideas. So I need to climb up there in my head and get it out. So put it out on paper, and you can see here, the sunshine, they wanted something happy, and many variations of it. There might be even pages and pages of this stuff that you could do. Okay, so let's go back and see what this other designer did. Once you get some sketches, then we start working them out on a document in Fireworks or whatever other design software. In our case, we're working out in Fireworks. I just wanted you to see a little bit of a detail here. They started with a scratch idea going across and then putting it over a shape and then putting a shape through it and varying their colors. And they did a series. What if they had the same thing but color variations with the background of it? What would work best? White background, red background, gray background. What if they contained it in the shape instead of going over it? Let's try it larger. Let's make the icon itself. Okay, let's get rid of this little thing. And so they've made the scratches and tried out different variations. You really do want to try different variations of what you're working on. Okay, back to the mango thing, that mango theme for the farmer's market. I say the farmer's market. The past couple of years I've worked with in this class, the students have gone on an idea or a concept. Unless they branched out on their own with their own idea, the overall project is ultimately a website, and the theme was farmer's market, although they didn't have to stick with that. Some of them did the farmer's market. So this one here and this one, both of these were based on fruit, and so this is a first attempt at it. And then refining it a little bit further, there were many variations of this one from this particular student.